Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Reyes Delgado, and today I'll be talking about cultural influences on mental health and help seeking across cultures. This topic is important because mental health is something that affects everyone worldwide, but the way people understand it and deal with it can look very differently depending on their cultural background. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 1 in 7 people worldwide live with a mental health disorder. That's a huge portion of our global population. Mental health is universal, but how people define illness and how they seek help is strongly influenced by culture. This means psychology has to be careful not to assume that one way of thinking or treating mental health works for everyone. In psychology, there are two main ways of thinking about mental health across cultures. The universalist perspective says that mental health illness exists everywhere and that symptoms overlap across cultures. On the other hand, the cultural relativist perspective says that beliefs, causes, and treatments can look differently depending on the culture. As Heine explains, psychological experience might exist in all cultures, but the way people understand and express them is shaped by their cultural background. For example, in Western cultures, illness is usually seen as a biological or psychological. In some Asian cultures, it's linked to ideas like yin and yang, where balance plays a role. Now, in parts of Latin America and even Africa, illnesses may be explained by spiritual causes. Even something so common as depression looks different across the world. Studies show prevalence rates from as low as 2% in some countries to as high as 19 in others. That tells us how powerful culture is in shaping our understanding of mental health. Another major factor is stigma. Globally, about 30% of people are affected by mental health disorders each year, but more than two-thirds of them never get the help that they need. In collectivist cultures, families may hide mental illness to protect family honor and group reputation. In individualist cultures, people may be often more open into seeking a diagnosis, but there's still pressure to handling it alone. Migrant communities often face both stigma from their heritage culture and barriers like language and access in their new culture. So, how do we adapt treatments to these cultural realities? In collectivist cultures, family therapies is often more effective than individual approaches. In individualist cultures, treatments might focus more on the independence and self expression. Religious communities sometimes include spiritual leaders and in the healing process. And in the multicultural setting, therapists help clients navigate bicultural and multicultural identities. The main point is that therapy works best when it respects and integrates a person's cultural background. This has big implications for global psychology. First, research needs to reduce Western bias and include more diverse cultural samples. Second, clinicians must be cultural competent, meaning that they understand how stigma and belief differs across cultures. And third, on a global level, with nearly 1 in 7 people affected, we need culturally informed approaches to close the care gap. Ultimately, a stronger global psychology means less stigma, better understanding, and improved care for people everywhere. To wrap it up, here's some key takeaways. Mental health is universal, but culture shapes beliefs and stigma. Cultural differences matter for how illness is understood and whether help is sought out. And finally, cultural adapted and multicultural approaches are essential for how effective care worldwide. Thank you so much for listening. This is a topic that really shows us how important cultural is to understanding people's experiences with mental health. I hope this gave you a new perspective on why global psychology is very important. Here are my list of references. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.